Welcome back. And to shed more light on women achievement in Egypt, we're delighted to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Souad Shalaby, former assistant to the foreign minister. Good afternoon, Ambassador Shalaby.
Good afternoon.
Well,
happy International Women's Day.
Same to you. Well, First Lady Intisar Sisi celebrated the International Women's Day, where she honored a number of women who made a change in their communities, as well as influential female professionals. How do you view this move by the First Lady, Egypt's First Lady?
Well, this is not the first time. The First Lady has been doing this every year. She chooses the icons of success in the Egyptian community, and those who are doing jobs or making a change in their local community. Whether they are young Egyptian women or old. Like, for instance, there was one woman who received her master's degree, and she's 80 years old. And there is an excellent carpenter who received also an honor from Her Excellency, the First Lady.
Yeah.
So she targets those women who have made their lives a success. And there are other women who are entrepreneurs who have made a big change in their lives, and this is why they are celebrated on this important day.
Right. Well, in recent years, women has achieved a lot with regards to her rights locally and internationally, and especially in Egypt, we've seen females achieving a lot in terms of being appointed as ministers, being appointed in the parliament, participating in elections. So how do you view the recent progress that women have achieved in Egypt?
Of course, it is a very big change and a huge support from the President and First Lady because of this political will that they give to the women of Egypt. That is why there is the first strategy for women that has been made by the National Council for Women for the empowerment and gender equality. And the strong political will was to fulfill the women's constitutional provisions. We have, in the new constitution, we have 20 constitutional provisions that guarantee the rights of women in all spheres of life. And there has been this national women's strategy that coincides with the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, which gives the right to the women to advance and to become equal by the year 2030. And it has been adopted by the President in 2017. And this strategy has given a big, it is a challenge in order to reach all these successes, because Egypt has already closed the gender gap by 63% of its overall gender gap. This is according to the Global Gender Gap Report of 2021. That means that Egypt ranks the fourth in the Middle East and in North Africa in the gender gap. So if we look at how many women have reached the high positions, we have already broke the glass ceiling by, for instance, the percentage of women in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. It has grown from, like in the past 6 years, it has become 28% instead of 10%.
So, right, go ahead. Well, we've seen a large voters turnout by women during the elections, all the elections processes that took place in recent years. How do you assess women's participation in general elections here in Egypt, presidential elections, whether or parliamentary elections also?
Women are drivers for political change, and they are the ones who influence the family, the whole family. Mm-hmm. They influence their husbands and their children to vote. And when they have the right to vote, this is for them a privilege that they have to keep, because it is something that it has not been granted since maybe more than 6 years. So when they have the right to vote, this is something that they like to practice, and to really they appreciate that their vote is given to the right person who is going to represent them.
Mm-hmm. Right. Ambassador Shalaby, women has achieved a lot of her rights so far, but still there are challenges facing women. What do you think are the most important challenges?
Well, as I said, it has to come from the authorities. So by for instance, appointing the advisor to the president, a woman in the national security, this is something that of course it gives a lot of empowerment for women. Mm-hmm. And also the challenges that face women are when they are met with sexual harassment, or when they are met with discrimination, or when they are not allowed, for instance, to get a promotion in their job, or when they are discriminated against in their own family, when there is, for instance, the abuse in the family, or the female genital mutilation. These are challenges that the women should face, the women of Egypt, because we have to really get over all these problems and challenges. And the government is helping, and the National Council for Women is doing a great job. And of course, the president, as I said, has appointed the advisor to the president for national security in 2014, and he has appointed women as governors and deputy governors, and the judges and the prosecutors, and they have now the appointment for women in the state council and the public prosecution. All these are new appointments, and they are given as a boost for the empowerment of women. That is why I'm saying that the government and the private and the NGOs are all working hand in hand in order to face the challenges that are facing the women in Egypt.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you assess the variety of women who has achieved success, unprecedented success in their fields, not only in Egypt, but also internationally?
Yes, this is something very important. They have been studying a very important issue, which is the financial inclusion of women. And this is important for their economic empowerment. Mm-hmm. So in all the countries in the world, women have a great role in economy. How can they do that? By establishing their own entrepreneurship, like, for instance, the SMEs and the small productive families, and the government offers them a place for local exhibitions, and they give them marketing opportunities. So it's the financial inclusion of women in Egypt has grown so much, just like in other countries, and they have the banks have been offering microcredit for beneficiaries of women. So
Right.
this is something that empowers the breadwinners of the local breadwinners and the women who are supporters of their families.
Right. Well, I would like to thank you very much, Ambassador Souad Shalaby, former assistant to the Foreign Minister. Many thanks for your insight. And your viewers, now we go to a